coming back from like the subway where we were right now, literally being here now, like I feel so at peace, you know.
There's an energy, man. I'd sit here on this sofa every morning with these doors open, and I'm just there, and I just crack on with a bulletproof coffee. I've had my supplements for the day, and I'm just ready to go.
A bit of MCT oil in there.
A bit of MCT oil, a bit of grass-fed butter. I put a bit of L-theanine in there as well.
Wow.
That's the magic touch.
Let's get into your supplement stack. I see some crazy stuff, bro. Like 60 supplements a day.
Brian Johnson.
That is crazy. Yeah. So what is your well, let's first of all put it like this, because we obviously, our brand is very much aligned with health and wealth together, you know, and obviously you relate to that as well. How did taking control of your health improve things for you?
It was another one of those things that came off the back of making loads of money. It was like, I've got loads of money, but then money does help you enable you to improve your health. But I just realized, okay, now I'm doing well. Now I've got a successful business. Now I've got these things. Like, I've forgotten the catalyst, but at some point I just was like, health is the most important thing in the world. And I think a lot of people don't prioritize health when they're trying to work for something else, so they make that short-term sacrifice. And I've never been an unhealthy person. I used to, before the business, I used to go out drinking a lot, but I don't really drink anymore. But it was, I had a guy reach out to me on Instagram, of all things, a biohacker, as he defined himself. And my initial goal was I just wanted to work with him to have a good routine in the gym and to stick to that.
I just wanted to get a six-pack.
Oh, exactly.
Six-pack and no acne. That was like the main thing for me.
Exactly. And that just acted as a trigger, and he just created a monster in me, and now I'm sending him supplement recommendations.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it's the single most important thing. I think when you are a digital entrepreneur, like, you kind of, if you want to hit a certain level, you kind of have to see yourself as a bit of a brain athlete, as I call it. And I feel like I can feel every single time where something isn't quite right. Like, if I'm getting unwell, like, I can just feel it in my body, because I know I'm only putting good shit into my body. Everything's organic, everything's grass fed. Like, of course, like the supplement stuff, we talk about the supplement stuff and people love it, right? But it's like it's like fourth tier, it's sleep, it's diet, it's exercise, then it's supplements. But most people don't have those three things first.
But everybody wants a sexy supplement stack and whatever, but then they're not properly hydrated, they don't move their body, they're not in the sun. It just sounds sexy, it's like, I'm on this supplement and this protocol, whatever.
It's like the exact same thing in business with the new tactic.
It's
new
exactly
strategy.
what it is.
Just focus on the main thing.
The main thing, where you said, the foundation.
I've got this automation that does this on NAN. It's like, cool, bro, are you doing your outreach or not?
Yeah, that's true. I need to come back to the MCT oil just quickly, because I actually finished a module about fasting literally today, or this week I'll finish it. Do you do like intermittent fasting, talking about like the bulletproof coffee in the morning? Or?
I do. So I did that for a long time. I do actually do proper fasts. So I do twice every year. I do I did a 6-day water fast just coming into the new year, and so I do that every now and then. But I did intermittent, and I found that I perform better on like a keto hybrid.
Okay.
So I do like just high protein, high fat morning and lunch, and then dinners when I have carbs. And I found that I perform better on that. And then also it's easier in the gym, right?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get the calories in later in the day, especially if you have like a hard day and you're cranking work in the evening or something like. You forget and you end up eating shit food. And
the big thing for me, especially with like just a lot of carbs, is like it's a very your energy levels fluctuate a lot, with the your blood sugar and everything, and so being on a more like a lower carb-ish diet, or at least like pushing the carbs to later during the day. When I'm doing my deep work and all my focus, like I do intermittent fasting. I do fasting paired with caffeine, sometimes some nicotine, and then I'm just dialed in that time, And then around 1 p.m. I'll break my fast, high fat, high protein, go for a little walk, hit the gym, come back, do some light work, and then I'll pump the carbs.
Nice.
Do you also follow like a structured routine now? You probably went through like the morning routines, cold plunge maybe?
That guy with some water with the ice, do you do that?
I was.
So if you enjoy this conversation and you relate with the health and wealth aspect, and both of these are very important when it comes to scaling a business or just as an entrepreneur in general. Top link in the description if you want a more personalized approach, to scaling a business or in the health aspect as well. And also in the description is access to our free community where we've got 20 hours of content that you can just consume.
100%. If you enjoy this conversation, share it to a friend. maybe think about subscribing, put the notifications on. It helps the channel a lot. And by doing so, we can get some more interesting guests like this. So let's get back to the video.
I've always been a person of routine. I think it's just because I'm ADHD, and I think like that's so I've always been like deep on routine. The first thing I think that really helped me start the business was a good morning routine. There's a book, The Morning Miracle by Hal Elrod, and that's just a great book on just like a good framework for a good morning routine. Nowadays, I'm less strict, but I wake up at 6 a.m. I go to the gym at the same day each day of the week, and I'll do a cold plunge when I want to, but it's not enforced. But when I first did all the biohacking stuff, like it was militant for a couple of months. But I find it's better to try and be fluid with it. Like you said about waking up and you're enlightened, you want to go to work at 6 a.m. I would never have used to have done that. But I did that like this week. I do that often when you feel like, I just need to do this thing, because you're not going to bring your all to the gym. Even if it was a gym day, like you're better off going to the gym tomorrow as long as you stick to that, because you're going to be so distracted thinking about the thing that you want to do, correcting whatever system's broke or whatever that looks like.
And a lot of people now focus a lot on, like the discipline, obviously with the routine. Do you feel like creativity plays more of a role now, especially with the, the mental side of things? You mentioned that, it's not just the body, but the brain as well. Do you feel like the creativity plays a role? Because when people hear this, they think, oh, no, that's like slacking. You're not working 12 hours a day. But when you're motivated, you actually want to work and you get things done. You actually get more done in those like 2 hours than you would do just being disciplined.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I don't work like relentless hours. So like I'm still working stupid hours. Some days I'll sit up until 12 at midnight and the routine goes out of the window. That happened this week. I was dealing with a team problem. I was like, this is stressing me out, and I sat up and it was 12 o'clock and I woke up at 6 and I had brain fog for the day. So it's fluid. But creativity is a very important thing. I think the most important thing to creativity I find is just sleep. Like if you have brain fog and you're not having enough sleep, you can't be creative. You can do logic things, but you can't do the creative stuff. And also like getting out in nature, I find is a massive one. Like that's why I do the Sunday hikes. Like just as much that I don't like working weekends, I will, but I would much rather crank out the week and hibernate for the whole week, do 12-hour days and so on. But then have the weekend, and then you have these ideas, you're going for a hike and you're like, oh, that thing I was trying to crack so hard on Wednesday. Why didn't I think of this? It makes so much sense.
Yeah. It's actually so funny. Sorry I interrupted you, but this random story about my charger for my Whoop, I lost it somewhere. And I was just constantly thinking the entire week was like, if you don't charge it, it's not going to track, I want to track my data. And I was just thinking about conscious brain, like logical, like where is this thing? And then I was just sleeping, and then I woke up at 3 a.m. randomly, like those random, you just wake up. Oh yeah, it's in that bag. Open it up, it's right there. Yeah. So that's like the sleep and not working on weekends. That's where the fluidity comes in. Like the subconscious mind starts to work, and then you can actually work on more important things when you actually work.
I'm not impressed by people that are like, I work 16-hour days every day and I haven't taken a weekend in 3 months. I'm like, cool, bro. You're not going to look back on that and be happy that you did. Yeah. There's this whole notion at the moment of like, I've seen this quote a lot of times, like, you either sacrifice your 20s for your 30s. And I'm like, you don't have to sacrifice that. Like, I've actually lived my entire 20s, I've worked hard, I've put in the graft, I've done way more than the average person would do, and I've made a lot of sacrifices, but I've still done great travel. I still get out in nature all the time. I still take my weekends, and I look at those people that are like wearing it proud that they're for 3 months they haven't left the house, and they're miserable. You can just tell. And then often working in the business because they're masking some greater problem in their personal life that they haven't had the ability to fix because they're not out fucking walking in nature.
Bro, you or someone that would love golf. Have you played golf before?
I have played golf, but I just was so shit at it that I was
I'm getting back into it. I used to play golf when I was super young, so I sort of got the rhythm dialed. I want to get under into it, but like the border to end is terrible.
I can't even hit the ball, man. Like it's other sports, paddle, awesome, but golf, oh my word.
It's so like I find myself, everything that I do, I consciously need a habit stacker to just tick all the other things off as well.
Listen to podcasts while golfing.
But so like golfing is one of those things, like you're in nature, spending time with mates, you are walking, good exercise, and you're actually rotating your body. Like if you are in the gym a lot, we're doing a lot of linear movements. Our body's just not moving as it was supposed to. Like I mean, we are essentially animals. We're supposed to be running around, climbing trees, doing all these things, or at least our body was evolved to do that. Now that we are stripping ourselves from that movement, there is consequences to that, you know. And so doing sports like rotating a boat, like golf or paddle, stuff like this is so beneficial. And I find myself, because I wanted to ask, how do you go about prioritizing those, you know, because I think all of us want to focus on our health, but building a business is tough, you know, especially in the beginning. And so for me, like, to prioritize those things, I just habit stack it. So like I try and do some coffees with friends. I did a coffee with Mayberg, and I actually asked him like, okay, but let's go for a walk outside. Walked around, you know, barefoot, whatever. And you sort of habit stack those things. Do you do something similar to that? How do you prioritize it?
Well, it's normally just like Sunday is the day that I go out for a long hike. That's what happens. I have days, so I think that's what happens. I have the same thing with business. So like it's like I've uploaded like 900 YouTube videos now, and every single Wednesday for the last 8 years has been content day, and that's just what it is. And I'm just religious with it, and I just stick to that. And every Sunday is recreational, go out on nature day, you know. And if it happens on a Saturday as well, then it's a bonus. But like that's a non-negotiable. That's a non-negotiable. And so they're the things. And then it's kind of the same for like I don't like taking meetings on a Thursday or Friday, so I'll just do like meetings on a Monday afternoon and a Tuesday afternoon, and I basically just stick to that every week. That's basically the way it goes.